death. That is my outlook, which I further explore later in this course. That said, there is so much that we do not know, mentally, physically, and existentially, and I believe that every dedicated seeker is a kind of existential scientist in his or her own right. We must test the outer reaches of our ideas. That is the simple aim Neville urged on us, and to which this short course is dedicated. Lesson 2. Who was Neville? The philosophy called New Thought is a mystical and psychological teaching that arose in the wake of New England Transcendentalism in the late 19th century. It promulgates one core principle: thoughts are causative. This outlook is, in varying forms, at the heart of American spirituality, ranging from New Age mysticism to self-help movements like Alcoholics Anonymous to evangelical mega-ministries. Perhaps the most intriguing and substantive teacher of New Thought in the years following World War II was the figure at the heart of this course, a Barbados-born dancer and stage actor who cultivated a mysterious biography and went by the singular name Neville. Born in 1905 to an English family in the West Indies, Neville Lancelot Goddard arrived in New York City in the early 1920s at age 17 to study theater. His ambition for the stage faded as he came in contact with various mystical and occult philosophies. By the early 1930s, Neville embarked on a new and unforeseen career as a lecturer and writer of mind-power metaphysics. In lectures, Neville often referred to an enigmatic, turbaned black man named Abdullah, who he said tutored him in scripture, number mysticism, Kabbalah, and Hebrew. Whatever the source of Neville's education, his outlook reflected not only the most occultic edge of New Thought, but also the philosophy's most intellectually stimulating expression. Neville saw each individual as a potential god. The aware person could select from among a universe of infinite realities, all brought into existence by a mixture of one's mind's eye imagery and emotive states. That which we think, feel, and see to be true, Neville taught, literally is true. In Neville's viewpoint, our active imagination, that is, our thoughts and corresponding feelings, creates reality. In lectures and books, Neville described how his West Indian family prospered at the helm of a food service and catering business, and these claims do conform to public records. Claims that others made about him, by contrast, were sometimes fanciful. In 1955, a Hollywood gossip columnist called Neville enormously wealthy, his family possessing a whole island in the West Indies. That is a gross exaggeration. Despite the Goddard family's eventual business success, it began as a modest, scrappy clan, and Neville's material existence as a young man was precarious, a fact he never disguised. While he landed roles on Broadway and toured as part of a ballroom dancing duo, the young Neville lived hand-to-mouth in New York, working for a time as an elevator operator and shipping clerk. In pursuit of spiritual awareness, the performer experimented with ascetic living, eschewing meat, dairy, tobacco, and alcohol. At one point, his weight dropped from 176 to 135 pounds. By 1930, Neville felt physically unwell and no closer to peering into life's mysteries. But he experienced a dramatic turnaround, he said, upon meeting a mysterious spiritual mentor named Abdullah. In Neville's recollection, the first meeting with Abdullah had an air of kismet. When I first met my friend Abdullah back in 1931, I entered a room where he was speaking, and when the speech was ended, he came over, extended his hand, and said, "Neville, you are 6 months late." I had never seen this man before, so I said, "I am 6 months late? How do you know me?" And he replied, "The brothers told me that you were coming, and you are 6 months late." Writing about Neville in the 1940s, the occult philosopher Israel Regardie called Abdullah an eccentric Ethiopian rabbi. The description stuck, and Neville's apprenticeship under an African rabbi became part of his mythos. Following this fateful encounter, Neville said that he and Abdullah spent